let's do a quick port review for Crimzon Clover World Explosion. Now, at first glance, this seems like your standard Switch taxed indie port. You know, it's like double or triple the price, but it has nothing really to offer that's new, besides just playing it portable, which, depending on your lifestyle, you know, where you work or how you travel or commute, that might be enough, but for most people they want something more. So, they actually added a deceptive amount of new content to this game. At first glance, when you boot it up, it seems like the exact same game that you've been able to get for $2 on Steam for, I don't know, like 10 years now or so. There's actually a lot of content, so I'm going to go ahead and go over as much as I can. As you can see, it's in Tate Mode right now. I need to fix that. Hold on. There we go. So if you want to see how this looks in Tate Mode, just give me a second here. They also added the new Range soundtrack, which is nice. It seems to come with almost all the DLC. It does not come with the super plays, from what I've seen. Maybe they will add those later on. I assume part of the issue with keeping those is I think they actually paid the players to make those. I think that they would have to pay them again. Also, the new modes are drastically different in terms of gameplay mechanics, so maybe they were strapped for time and they weren't able to compensate those people. If you want to see what it looks like in Tate Mode, let me switch scenes here. This is me playing it on my desk while watching a friend stream, and you can see it's in Tate Mode, and I have it, I'm playing it with my wireless 8BitDo SN30 Pro Plus controller. So, this is actually a pretty nice feature, simply because normally when you play shmups, to play a shmup in Tate Mode, you have to completely rotate your monitor around, but because this is on the Switch, there are a lot of other shmups like Ikaruga and stuff that have this feature as well. You can play Tate Mode just by turning your Switch around, which is pretty cool. That's actually a pretty unsung feature of this. I think just adding that would have been enough, but there's actually a lot of new features as well. So let's go back to the game. So first off, I'm going to play one of the tutorials here, and then I'll show you guys some raw gameplay. I actually did a bunch of runs today, so this game has a replay feature, so instead of trying to play and commentate at the same time, I could just watch my past self play. So you'll see at the bottom, there's little things down there. If you're old enough to have played a Gradius game, there hasn't been a new Gradius game in like 15 years, but it works very similarly to that. Wherever the bar is, when you push the break mode button, you will get that respective power-up. Now what's cool is that when you die, you actually don't lose them all, so the infamous Gradius syndrome doesn't really apply here. I think even when you continue, you do keep some of your power-ups. As far as I know, I seem to have noticed I didn't have to build everything up again. So you can get a shield, you can get more power, you can increase the range of your lock-on, which is pretty good on bosses. Some of the bosses will be behind you, or at the opposite end of the screen. You can actually stay back and defend the bullets. So they have a semi-auto version, which kind of just automatically decides which power-up would be best for your current situation. But if you want to get the most points and stuff, then you would want to use manual. Okay, so let's back out of here, and I'll show some raw gameplay. So you can choose right here, semi-auto or manual. I recommend semi-auto until you know exactly what each power-up does. and then you can kind of graduate to choosing the power-ups manually. Okay, so what's my latest run? I think this one. The port itself, in terms of the frame rate, it's perfect, which might be a little bit unsurprising to the uninitiated, but this game has a lot going on. For the longest time, I think until streaming technology, upload speeds, and bitrate caps on like Twitch and stuff improved, this was actually one of the hardest games to stream because unlike most video games, it is almost never a static image. It is always moving at all times. There's a lot of sprites rotating and stuff. You might not know this, but Mega Man 2, Bubble Man's level of the waterfall, that notoriously makes codecs just crawl to their knees, just fall to their knees. It's like a 33-year-old game, and we still don't have the technology to really adequately encode that, at least while streaming. There is some intentional slowdown. As you know, this is widely considered to be one of the best post-Cave shmups. Around the time that this came out, Cave stopped making arcade and console shmups. I think they only do mobile stuff now. So this game is held in pretty high regard, and I think it's cool that they actually did add some new stuff. As you can see at the bottom up there, I'm actually extending my break mode and getting power-ups as I see fit. There, activated break mode. Basically, if you played Gradius, it's almost exactly the same. It's just that there's not as much Gradius syndrome. You actually do maintain some of your power-ups when you die. I don't know exactly how it works. Obviously, I'm playing this a day before release, and there's like no information on the internet, obviously. But I have noticed you don't lose everything, so Gradius syndrome is often a problem in any kind of shmup that has a lot of power-ups. You can be like really strong and then get hit by one straight bullet, and then it's such an uphill battle to get back to where you are. They actually thought of that here, and you're given a lot of leeway. So the shield basically functions as an autobomb. Autobomb in shmup terms means that when you have a bomb in stock, when you get hit, then it will automatically use it. You can also see your rank under the break rate there. Rank is an old school arcade term for basically dynamic difficulty. It's generally used to, get more money out of you. If you're doing well, the game gets harder. In a lot of arcade game situations, it will get artificially hard. So if you do a lot of break modes and stuff, that will increase your rank. If you get hit or autobomb, then it will lower your rank. I actually really like this feature because it's really hard to play shmups and focus on something else. They require pretty intense focus. So I spent a bit of time today doing some runs. I did one run on stream this morning when Hyrule Warriors and Kamen Rider came out, and I did a couple off camera just to get some footage. I think this mode is a lot more fun, personally. I think the mechanics are a little bit more interesting, but you still have access to the old modes as well. The only limitation I've seen is that Type Z, the hidden ship, cannot be used in a range mode from what I've seen. Obviously, like I said, I'm playing this before release, so I don't know if that will change later on, but I went into just the basic modes, and I saw the unlock progress there, and then when I went into the arrange mode, the ship was not there at all. Maybe it's an unlockable later on or something. You can actually unlock Type Z a lot easier with this arrange mode because the amount of stars that you get is ridiculous. So basically this is like medium difficulty, but with new mechanics. And these mechanics carry over to all 4 modes of the game. So when you consider that, it has effectively doubled the content of the game. Shmups are kind of like fighting games. You know how when they add like one character to a fighting game, it drastically changes the meta, the dynamics of the game and stuff. That's very much the same way with shmup modes. You know, you can add more levels, but shmups are very high-focus, high-intensity games. You definitely don't want to have your run be too long, kind of like how it is in beat-em-ups. You know, beat-em-ups that start to get to like 2, 3, 4-hour territory are really mentally and physically exhausting to play. So instead of adding new content per se, they added new modes with new ways to play the game. And because these mechanics carry over to all 4 range modes, like I said, it effectively doubles the content. Which I think is a good thing, because this game is on sale for like the price of a McDouble. Like a value item at McDonald's. So for this to cost $20, that's effectively 10 times the price. Luckily, in Switch tax, that's actually not that bad. $2 to $20 is not bad. Normally it's like $10 to $30. When the base sale price is so low, you can kind of justify it being 10 times more expensive. But they did effectively double the content, so I actually think it's decent. I've gotten up to level 4 without continuing. Getting a 1cc on this is going to be quite hard. The true last boss is really grueling in this game. But I enjoy playing it. You know, I'm not the best at shmups. Obviously, you're seeing my performance here. I'm not like abysmal at them, but I'm not great either. So, you know, if I can 1cc one on novice or normal, back out of here. There was one other downside that I noticed. I don't know if this will change later. You can't seem to download replays. Actually, let me go to online. I don't remember if you could do this on the old game, actually. Let's see where I rank before I sign off here. So let's go to Arrange and Original and Type 3. So what happens if I go to Arcade? Yeah, it seems like you just can't use Type Z in Arrange mode, which is disappointing. I'm not sure why they have an arbitrary limitation like that, but whatever. Oh, rank 6. Not bad. Obviously, no one outside of Japan and content creators like me has access to this, so I'm sure that will fall down eventually. But yeah, that's actually not that bad. I'm going to go ahead and sign off there. That's basically Crimzon Clover in a nutshell. I think they could have gotten by without adding anything, but the fact that they did is actually really cool. And just due to how the Switch functions as a portable console, this, in a way, can be better than playing it on, you know, console or PC, because to play Tate Mode, all you have to do is just physically turn it around, which is obviously way less physically taxing than rotating a whole monitor around just to play one game. So, a lot of the shmups on Switch actually do have that feature, so if you have like a stick or something or a wireless controller, you know, if you like playing in Tate Mode, I think it's worth the price right there. But the new modes are actually really fun. It's actually surprising how much they changed the mechanics. It definitely does feel like a different game, and like I said, considering this has been available for pretty much chump change, like literal pennies, for many years now, I think it's cool that they actually did add things. I think for Switch tax, $20 for this, considering they doubled the content, is pretty good. So if you're into 1cc attempts or just trying to improve your score, then I think there's a lot to offer here. My main complaints with this version is you can't download someone else's replays from what I've seen, and there's no Type Z in Arrange mode, which feels incredibly arbitrary. It's kind of weird that the ultimate unlock in this you just straight up can't use in the new mode. Maybe that's something they'll add later on. I'll have to talk to them on email and see what happens. happens there. Anyway, that's it. Actually, there is one other thing. Like I said, the old super plays from the old version are not there, but like I said, there's probably some legality there with like selling a new version of the game and having that DLC. They would probably have to compensate those people again, and then they would have to pay people to do the replays for the new modes. And I guess there just wasn't time or logistics to do that. You know, we're in a global pandemic and everything, so that's one downside. It does seem to include all the other DLC, including the arranged tracks. Thanks for watching.